Greetings and welcome to the channel. My name is Dr. Gyesie, transformational coach and shamanic guide here at Inner Mileage, where we help people understand their limiting self-beliefs rooted in trauma so they can overcome them, take action, and live their resonant lives right here, right now. Today we're going to talk a little bit about how narcissists are just gatekeepers to the empath's blessing. In other words, dealing with a narcissist is the gate through you. Overcoming a narcissist, in fact, is the gate through you walk through to your ultimate destination. So if you're an empath and feel like you've lived your life in a revolving door of narcissistic relationships, whether romantic, familiar, and professional, you're not imagining it. You're not broken. You're not cursed. You're being trained. These people are an obstacles. They're gatekeepers. And if you shift your perspective even slightly, this entire paradigm collapses and your power emerges. Today, I'm going to talk to you through why narcissistic abuse may be one of the precise spiritual technologies used to awaken, train, and elevate empaths to their purpose. So let's get into the empath cycle of relational trauma. According to the American Psychological Association, empaths exhibit heightened mirror neuron activity, making them biologically more attuned to the emotional states of others. In fact, neurologist Dr. Ramachandran's research on mirror neurons explains how empaths experience other people's emotions as their own. And there's a neuron phenomena that supports this deep instinctual compassion many empaths feel. However, from the field of psychology, even researchers like Bessel van der Kolk, Dr. Bessel, suggest that early childhood environments steeped in neglect or volatility can lead to complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Many empaths come from such backgrounds, and I've been through this, and we learn that love must be earned by attunement to other people's needs, a dynamic that these narcissists exploit rather ruthlessly. This creates a pattern of trauma bonding, which is the psychological glue that keeps empaths entangled with narcissists, even when the relationship is clearly harmful. It's not just emotional, it's neurological. Oxytocin, dopamine, cortisol, and adrenaline all create a biochemical addiction to chaos and intermittent validation. So let's move from neurology to gnosis, the spiritual technology of narcissists as initiators. In Hermetic tradition, which I often like to reference, the great Hermes Trismegistus described the initiate's journey as a confrontation with chaos and illusion before attaining true wisdom. So the narcissist functions as a spiritual antagonist, their very presence forcing you to confront what in you still seeks external validation, false love, and unresolved wounding. Similarly, in Buddhism, or Vajrayana Buddhism specifically, there's this concept of wrathful deities, figures who appear demonic but exist to destroy the ego and liberate the mind. Their fearsome appearances mirror the narcissist's destabilizing presence, but their purpose and process leads to purification. Similarly, in the Kabbalah, or mystical Jewish text, the Zohar, the concept of the other side, Sitra Ashra, represents shadow forces that challenge the soul's growth. So the narcissist may be part of this other side, acting as a divine adversary, not to condemn you, but to catalyze you. And from a Christian lens, remember St. Paul's words in Romans 8:28, all things work together for good to those who love God. What if narcissistic abuse isn't a deviation, but a disguised deliverance? So in my years of coaching and studying empath narcissist dynamics, one insight keeps surfacing. Narcissists appear in cycles, and each time, the empath is at a different level of awareness. In fact, from a clinical psychological standpoint, there's this explanation that narcissists are attracted to traits such as high empathy, low self-worth, and a strong desire for connection. However, as the empath heals and integrates their own shadow, they unconsciously project less need and become less susceptible. Every encounter becomes a threshold. It's a curriculum of consciousness. The narcissist is the professor you didn't want but needed. Fail the exam, they appear in a different form. Pass it, and then your life shifts into a different vibration. This aligns with rites of passage in African traditions where an initiate must face fearsome beings or trials before gaining wisdom. You see this in Xhosa traditions and all of it, in Igbo traditions, if you think about the novel Things Fall Apart, etc., etc., etc. And as Malidoma Patrice Some wrote, initiation, the great Malidoma Some, initiation is about developing capacity to hold spiritual power. Therefore, narcissists pressure test your boundaries, your truth, and your voice. They force the empath to choose, abandon the self again, or finally self-actualize. This is the whole dynamic. So how does one get empowered through this awareness? What changes when you see narcissists as gatekeepers instead of destroyers? You exit the victim loop and enter the sovereignty cycle. This is more than semantics. Studies on post-traumatic growth by Tedeschi and Calhoun and others show that those who reframe trauma as a purposeful experience greater psychological resilience, spiritual development, and emotional intelligence. Energetically, you stop matching the narcissist frequency. And in terms of vibrational medicine like that's taught in Ayurveda or Ayurvedic medicine, your energetic field becomes more coherent, less splintered, less baitable. You learn to recognize projection, manipulation, and energy vampirism without being pulled into drama. You understand that your boundaries aren't walls, they are filters. And you no longer chase closure because you realize you are the closure. So why do the tests keep coming? Many empaths mention, I thought I healed, but another narcissist showed up. And here's what you need to know. Spiritual development is cyclical, not linear. Well, I know even in Campbell's work, it seems to be linear, but it's cyclical. It's like the spiral in the illusion mysteries. Each round brings you higher, but back to familiar terrain. And I just mentioned Joseph Campbell's work. Each threshold is guarded. The guardian, like the minotaur, the dragon, or the narcissist, tests your readiness, not just to survive, but to embody a new identity. You're not attracting narcissists because you're unworthy. You're attracting them because the universe is asking, are you ready to apply what you know? Or will you regress into what you were? And until your nervous system normalizes peace over chaos, love over trauma bonding, and self-validation over external control, the test will continue and continue and continue. So empaths are not here to be martyrs. We're here to be transmuters. In alchemy, the base metal must go through fire to become gold. Likewise, your heart's capacity must be refined through suffering to carry higher frequencies of love and discernment. If this resonates with you, type transform in the comment section and let me know how we can help you. You are what evolutionary biologists call a sensor species. Your nervous system evolves in response to threats, and your spirit evolves in response to meaning. In mystical Christianity, we have the wounded healer, a concept mirrored in Jungian archetypes. Your wounds metabolized become medicine, realizing that you didn't choose the pain, but you can choose the purpose. Empaths are soul architects, system disruptors, timeline shifters. The narcissist didn't block your path, they revealed it. So next time a narcissist appears, don't panic, recognize the pattern, smile, not as out of some masochistic dynamic, but because you know This is not punishment. It's your promotion. You're graduating again. If this resonated with you, like, share, subscribe to the channel, and recognize there's no one like you. Keep ascending, keep growing. Peace and light.